Hi, this is a short introduction to Sophia REPL. REPL, spelled R-E-P-L, stands for Read, Eval, Print, Loop, also known as Interactive Shell. Its main purpose is to flexibly evaluate Sophia expressions for testing, learning, and prototyping. Sophia REPL is shipped as a command-line Erlang application and is available on GitHub. The installation instructions are in the README file. If your system configuration makes installing dependencies troublesome, a Docker file is provided. To launch the REPL, use the attached script. To evaluate an expression, simply write it into the prompt and press enter. Result just as expected. Sophia is a statically typed language, so if we mess up the types, we get an error message. If you are unsure about the type of some expression, you can use :T command to ask for the type. Standard library functions are available as well. To get more information about a command, you can use help. We see that T is an alias for type. To get the full list of commands, you can use help without any parameters. Note that every command is preceded by a colon. Just like in Sophia, some modules need to be imported manually. For example, to use the list namespace, you need to include it first. From now on, list functions are available in the scope. To save a value for later use, you can use let statement. More complex patterns are supported as well. Also define custom data types within the REPL. You can remind yourself to define types and variables using the print command. REPL behaves as a contract itself, meaning that it has its own address and balance, but more importantly, contract state. Initially, it's set to unit. In order to change it, the state command should be used. Note that it is parameterized by a value, not a type like in Sophia. This is to have the initial value defined right away while the type is inferred by the Sophia type checker. Now you can modify and query the state using standard operations. There is more with regards to working with files. You can load and query your own contracts by using the load command. Let us take a look at the contract we want to test. It is a simple counter that stores a number and exposes two operations, one for querying and one for incrementing the counter. Let us jump back to the REPL and load it into the shell. Now the counter is in the scope. Note that if more files were specified, only the last one would be included in the context. Please refer to the documentation for the details. As we have the file loaded and included, we can use chain.create to deploy a new counter into the REPL environment. Now we can play around and test the contract. A thing worth noting is that all private functions are exposed, so you can freely test your code without having to alter the annotations. Note that everything here is fully offline and detached from the testnet or any actual network. REPL can be configured in various ways using the set command. For example, you can change the amount of gas that is used for execution. Review gas usage, you can enable the display gas option. If you need the values to be displayed in a different format, you can adjust the print format setting. To get more information about different settings, please refer to the documentation or the help command. This tool is under active development and more features are added over time. In the nearest future, we are planning to extend it with debugging utilities similar to the GNU debugger. Stay tuned and remember that you are always welcome to contribute on GitHub. That's it for today. Goodbye.